My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/campaign to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
Meaningless stuff. Why do we gift so much meaningless stuff? Tired of generic gifts and hollow trends? Shutterfly allows you to create meaningful photo gifts for your family and friends. Whether it's a cozy fleece blanket for grandma, a stunning canvas print for mom, or a mug to make dad smile. Enjoy 40% off with code MAKE40 at Shutterfly.com and make something meaningful this year. See site for more details.
All right. Welcome back to the Misfit Nation. Last episode, we got to hear from Terrence Gant and Tim King. They are both selfless men who are giving their all to the next generation through their love of coaching. Thank you for being on, and keep us posted on your ventures in the future. In this episode, we bring in a true entrepreneur. I met him on my last trip to Korea in 2008. He was the Battalion Commander's driver, and he was proud of being selected for this position. He kept the vehicle immaculate. There was days I'd see him and the Sergeant Major's driver out there competing with each other to see how shiny they can get them vehicles. He also maintained it to ensure safety. His hard work and staying hungry caused him to move up to the Brigade Commander's driver's position. In this position, he was the same way, and by the time he left, he had risen from a brand new soldier, private, up to sergeant. He is a model for being humble, staying hungry, and continuing the hustle. So without further ado, let's get Mr. Charles Davis Jr. on here. All right, everyone. Welcome to the Misfit Nation and Charles Davis Jr., a veteran, an entrepreneur, overall great dude, was a DJ in Korea, a promoter in Korea. And when I think of hustle, I think of Charles Davis. So everyone, welcome Charles Davis in.
Hey, how's everybody doing? And thank you for the great introduction as well.
Hey, no problems. Great to have you on. When I started this entrepreneur series, I kept seeing your post, and I said, I got to get him on here. We had to wait for a box to align to get you on here, so here we are. So tell me a little about how you've been doing lately, or you can just tell your whole story from whatever point you want through your service to where you are now.
Well, let's see. It's kind of crazy because you know how for a lot of us, I guess the time that military service is kind of like a blur a little bit. Yeah. So, and it's crazy because I guess you don't really look at life the way you look at life, if that's right, we had to say, until you get out. And I guess I'll say, when you go to ACAP, and you're sitting inside that room, and they're telling you, hey, things I guess geared towards like a support system. You know what I'm saying? And I guess for me, the biggest thing that kept me afloat was the support system, because like I said, it's just, I don't know. I the ACAP classes that we all kind of just breezed through, we actually wound up using them once we got out. I guess if that's the right way to say it. Yeah, so it's like, I mean, it's, different life situations, the things that we go through. Like I said, it's just, I don't know. Like I said, just long story short, once I got out, that's when I really realized, I guess, my true purpose. And I guess for me, I was kind of young, and it's kind of hard to really, I guess, comprehend a lot of things really until you reach your 30s. Right. So, and I guess looking back now, I guess some days, I mean, I do miss being in. but some days I really think, I say, hey, now as a 32-year-old, I kind of wish that I would have did some things a little better when I was in the service.
Okay. So I know you started.
I don't know. Like I said, I'm not.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you're good. Yeah, I think I cut you off actually. Okay, so I know, like when you got out, you worked different jobs when you first got out. You were trying a lot of different things at first, and then you realized your potential as basically a small business owner. I think you had the bread truck at one time. You were delivering bread throughout Georgia, I believe. And then you moved on to something else after that. What was that after that?
Actually, that's when I kind of, I guess, experimented with the whole lease purchase truck driving thing, and that.
And that's when you were still living in Georgia, right? At that time. Okay. Before you decided to move south to get some beach time, get the tan going on there in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I know you're still not a Jacksonville Jaguars fan, but you're in their town now, so you got to see posters of Trevor Lawrence everywhere in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, you know what? That's kind of funny that you say that, because everybody keeps ragging on me. Oh, how you're a Carolina Panthers fan, but at least you're at least one of your teams is a cat, like the Jaguars. So they kind of cut me a little bit of slack on that.
That's something, I guess.
Yeah. But and see, and that's the thing about it. When you say the trying different things, because that's kind of where I was gearing at, I guess, when you asked me the first question, because trying different things, a lot of people, they'll basically quit. They're quitting or give up. But it's one thing, like I said, at the military, I believe it teaches all of us veterans that no matter what you do in life, should apply the Army values to the civilian sector, and you'll basically make it in anything. And in addition, just because something didn't work out doesn't mean that you failed at it. It's a learning experience, So, and I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned. Like I said, just not to look at what we perceive as negative things as negative things.
Oh yeah. So whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That's a lot of people need to start looking at. And that is funny you said that you take that Army values when you get out. You were a good soldier. You got out, and you remember that. Even those soldiers who say they hate the military, they hate the Army, blah blah blah, them getting out. When they get out, what's the first thing they tell their employer? I was a soldier, and I can do it for you because I have these values.
Exactly.
So even though they hate it while they're in, they sell it while they're out. Everyone remembers it as they go forward.
Yep. That's true. And to be honest with you, it sets the different mentalities apart from each other. And like I said, some people, they look at it in a negative light as, oh, you think you're better? No, doesn't necessarily think that, as veterans that we're better. It's just taking that sacrifice to serve. It does something to you,
right.
And in a sense, I mean, you kind of, like I say, you're not better than the next person, but you're different than the average person. It's like you have the extra edge on you to really look at situations differently.
Exactly, and you wind up with a totally different mindset. Say a guy or gal you went to high school with, they went one path, they went to college right away, or went to trade or something. You went in the Army. The Army teaches us a mindset to do things the best way we possibly can to get that success. And then when you come back out, with that same mindset. It's ingrained in you now to keep that success, along with all the lessons you learned as a youth from your parents, from your mentors as growing up. And it just sets us apart. It doesn't, like you said, it doesn't make us better. It doesn't make us boastful. It's just something that happens.
Exactly. That's very true.
You alluded a little to your transition from being a soldier. How tough was it for you as you're transitioning?
Well, to be honest with you, my dad, well, shoot, for me, it was kind of easy because my dad's actually retired. He's 7. He retired back in
Okay.
'98. Yeah, so growing up in the military, to my dad, what he went through, he got out in '98. From the time of, like I said, even as a kid, I used to volunteer at the hospital on Fort Gordon. So basically, watching other service members through the years, for me, I just kind of prepared. I wouldn't say I properly prepared for it, but I prepared for it in, I guess, a great way. Because one thing that I did, I actually sat down and thought about what I wanted to do when I got out, and I knew that, like I said, matter of fact, that's how me and you crossed paths. I was a driver for the Battalion Commander in 304th. So the years of driving, I guess that's when I realized, just networking with so many great people, I realized my true potential at things. So when I got out of the military, I said, hey, I want to drive and travel the country and stuff like that. So when I was stationed at Fort Campbell, at nighttime, I would take night classes at Millamont Technical College for CDL school. So when let's say about a month and a half before I signed out for ETS leave, I had already graduated CDL school, and I had my post 9/11 GI Bill to pay for it. So basically, like I said, I signed out from the unit, and I went straight into a job.
That's almost the perfect one there.
So yeah. Mm-hmm. So like I said, it just long story short, it's just observing and seeing how even some of my own soldiers, some of the stuff that they went through, and like I said, it's just pay attention and pick the best route,
Definitely, yeah, you gotta choose. You gotta take each person's experience that you've seen before you, and see what worked for them and what you think might work for you, and kind of blend it together into some master plan, I guess, or master goal list to push you forward to your success.
Yeah.
Which leads us to where you are now. So you're you're an independent contractor, trucker, I guess that's what they call it.
Yeah.
So how do you get your routes and stuff?
Well, generally, the company that I'm doing the independent contractor stuff through, they actually they have their own in-house loads and stuff. But in addition, I can actually go on like a brokered load boards, and basically this negotiated price. And like I said, the broker gets a percentage, the company gets a percentage, and then I get a percentage of it as well. Plus like the fuel surcharge and all the other types of stuff like that.
So what's the furthest route you have done so far?
I'll say from Jacksonville up to Minnesota.
Two totally different weather patterns there. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and actually, when I went and got my the truck back in February, let's just say when I touched down, when I took off in Atlanta, it was like 60 degrees, and when I touched down in Minnesota, it was like negative 20. And it was only I think it was like a 5-hour flight. And I remember my girlfriend, she's actually Rochelle. She's actually from Detroit. So I remember vividly. Rochelle was like, Charles, you sure you don't want to bring a bigger coat than that? I'm like, nah, I'm good, I'm okay. And as soon as I got off the plane, I'm like, yeah, I should have listened to Rochelle.
That big coat would work right now.
Yeah. So I should have got some thermal socks. I should have got some warmer clothes. That's what I should have did. But
I think right about the same time I did a layover in Minnesota, went to Colorado, and then the next week I went to Wisconsin I took off from Campbell. It was I think 62 or 64 degrees. I got there, it was -5. And all I had was my hoodie on. It was an eye opener.
Yeah, it really is. And I think at that point in time, the they had like a cold blast that lasted. Matter of fact, that was the same week that Tennessee got all that bad snow back in February, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because I remember when I actually flew back home and I flew back up, but I drove, and I was on Interstate 24 coming through Kentucky into Tennessee, and like the roads are too bad, so I basically stopped at the I think it's the Loves up in I think it's Oak Grove. Yeah, the one over Oak Grove. So yeah, it's pretty interesting, being back in the Clarksville area and seeing all that snow on the ground.
Once every 6 years we get it. And every time it's the same thing. Everything shuts down.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Because matter of fact, when I was stationed up there in 2013, that was the last time.
13, 14. Yeah, it was the last time.
Yeah. I remember I had a townhouse off a tiny town road, and I tried to break the ice up in my driveway, and I broke my shovel. like the actual metal part. Yeah, that block of ice, like it was no chopping that up at all. So
yeah, of my 3 vehicles, the only one I can drive around during the storm was my Jeep. So it's constant having that.
Yeah. So that's always good to have.
Just drop 4-wheel drive and go wherever you want to go. But the downside with all the stuff they put on the roads has destroyed my driveway, so I'll have to fix that later.
Yeah.
So, are you a member of any veteran entrepreneur groups?
Actually, I'm not, and I need to do a better job. Well, I need to like actually become a member of an actual veterans entrepreneur groups. Now, I am a member of the Veterans of Foreign Wars here in Jacksonville, which I know is a little bit quite different than a veterans entrepreneur group. But like I said, I'm just I need to do it better. I need to actually be more proactive on it.
Check out Bunker Labs. They do a lot of things for entrepreneurs. They also build your network. So if you want to get with other guys who have the same mindset as you, do the same thing, you guys can compare notes and see how to get better.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I just wrote them down. I'm gonna check them out when we get off of here.
So during your long 32 years of life, you're still a young man. So who has been your top 3 mentors, and what was the best advice that each have given you?
Well, come on, of course, my first mentor I'm going to name is you.
Thanks, man.
Because I'll put it to you like this. Now, I always remember you as the Cool, Calm, Collect NCO. You worked in S3, right? Yeah. See, I remember. Yeah, you were the Cool, Calm, Collect NCO that worked in S3. And I remember I used to come over to the office, and we used to have great conversations just about life. And like I said, it's just funny how, like I said, just through the years, things come back to you, and like I said, actually my 3 mentors, they all come from that time frame. So the first one is you, the second one would be, the Battalion Commander, Colonel Francis.
Nice.
So, and the third one, when I went to the Brigade, it would be the Brigade Commander, Wilton Chase.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah. So basically, like I said, it's just out of the 3 of y'all, like y'all always took the time to actually, converse, talk about life. Y'all gave real advice that, like I said, just when I got into my 30s, like I said, it's just, I can actually think back at the conversations and be like, wow, wait a second. Like, now it makes sense. And I see, and I remember the main thing that all 3 of y'all always try to tell me: life is about the 10% of the things that happen to you, and the 90% is catered, or it comes from how you react to the 10% of what happens to you.
Exactly.
Because like I said, it just, at that point of life, but in 2007, 2008, in 2009. Like I said, I feel like I was at a time frame where I guess I was trying to still figure myself out. You know, like I said, and it's just back then I didn't really. I understood what y'all was saying, but it really didn't make sense until years later.
Right.
You know? Yeah. So, like I said, I could look back now and I'm like, wow, like, you just look back at the ways how you used to think about things. I mean, now it seems easy. But like I said, just I just always been grateful, to just be surrounded by great people. I mean, and of course, like I said, I could name more mentors, but like I said, the list is just too long. And because I mean, when I think back now, just the whole crew from back then, it was just full of great people.
Yeah, we had a pretty good, I guess, organization as far as NCOs and stuff and soldier relationships. They weren't off the line relationships. They were pretty much everyone knew what each other was doing and how to take care of each other. And it was actually pretty good in both units when we were at 304th, and then when we both moved down to Brigade, it was the same thing, the same mentality. When we got down there, look out for each other and take care of each other. And that's how you do things.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. It's just, even, that was the time of, just great military leadership, and they were just all about progression. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, just going from the battalion down to the brigade. I mean, because shoot, you can even look at on my standpoint, I was a little PFC, and it's just, just given the opportunity to go to the brigade and experience new things. Like I said, it's just, I was at a loss for words, and I kind of think, I guess for me, I guess I would never have anything negative to say about the military, because of the actual exposure to things, that, honestly, that like a lot of younger soldiers didn't, get the experience.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And it's just, I just never really took that for granted.
And you kind of were given after you excelled as Colonel Francis driver, you kind of worked your way out of that position by excelling to make the move down to brigade and say, hey, you're doing that good for a battalion commander. You're going to do that well for a brigade commander. So you worked your way out of one and into another job just within your first couple of years in the military.
Yeah, and see, the thing about it is, it was, like I said, one thing that I was always taught by my dad. It was the first impression is the last impression. So and that's basically how I got the job at the brigade. It was, I think it was a UFG, and we had to pick up Colonel Chase from the helipad, and it's just like I said, the vehicle was spotless. Like you could just tell that I was the type of driver that cared about my job, and the biggest thing, like I said, when you're a commander, you got a driver. It's not about the what's the word I want to use? To be flashy, you know what I'm saying? And that's one thing I can say about those two commanders. Like they weren't about the glit and the glam and the flashiness, but it's just, you can tell that I genuinely cared about my job. And the biggest thing is the people that you surround yourself with are a representation of you.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean, like I said, I just always try to go by that principle, and that's basically how that happened, And it just, out of the blue, he's like, hey, you want to come to the brigade and work up there? And I'm like, what do I do? And Colonel Francis was like, hey, I mean, just answer the question. I said, okay, cool, I guess, So, yeah, because at that point in time, they had a lot of people PCSing out of the brigade command group. So they was trying to find replacements and stuff like that. So, and of course, you want somebody you could trust up there working in that type of environment too,
Especially someone that knows the roads already a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I remember coming out of the S3 shop and seeing you and Corporal Kim, both of you cleaning your vehicles up to try to match each other to show who's better as being a driver every time.
Yeah.
Putting that best foot forward.
That's true. Yeah.
So if you had to do all
That's
that over
very.
again, would you change anything?
Actually, I wouldn't, because I guess it goes back to the original principles. I guess that I kind of said earlier. It's kind of like no matter what happens to you in life, it's never a bad situation, a bad experience. Um, Something happens negative. So I feel like everything that I went through that was quote unquote negative in life, um, I wouldn't be who I am today without those experiences.
Yeah.
You know? So, and like I said, I just really think that if our society as a whole, just operate off that mentality, the world will be a better place.
And
You know?
definitely. And I think if a lot of people stop thinking of the me instead of the we, it'd be a lot better as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's a lot
That's true.
more than me or you in this world. Is a lot of us, and we together could make it a lot of changes. Me alone, I can't make changes. I can make a lot of noise. I can't make changes.
That's true. Because like I said, even as, like I said, some days I miss, of course we all miss the military at some days. But like I said, I guess some days I have those thoughts of, if I was still in the military, how would I go about, XYZ situation? Like, especially like, when you're reading those, the Army time stories, of stuff going on in the military and stuff like that.
Usually not good news stories.
And it's just, you just see different stories and you're just like, what was going through that NCO's head? Or sometimes, like I said, you know how it is. It's kind of like if an NCO is or a soldier is doing something, all it takes is that one NCO to talk to the person, or talk to the soldier or the other fellow NCO, and just have a simple conversation, and they kind of get their mind wrapped around what's going on. Like I said, it's just I really think those are the things that I miss the most. Just those personal moments of just being there for one another.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, my first year out, I did nothing really. 365 days, I sat home and decompressed kind of until I found my first grown up job. And then I worked with veterans for 2 years, so I kind of still was in that atmosphere. And now I actually train soldiers every day, so I'm on Campbell every day. So I get to see all the camaraderie, all the joking and everything. So it's like I'm still there, but I can go home every night. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. Because actually, I think eventually, that's something that I really, I really feel in my spirit that I feel I need to be doing.
Right.
Cause like I said, even out here in Jacksonville, you got the Navy base. You got actually multiple Navy bases up here in the Marine base. But surprisingly, it's actually a good amount of Army personnel out here as well. Yeah, but like I said, I obviously feel that that's something that I probably need to look to doing.
Right.
Because just being, I guess it kind of sucks not being around, service members.
Yeah, you miss them. You miss that weird humor we have, and you can see like every class I teach, I can see the faces. The faces might be different, the names might be different, but the soldiers are still the same. Soldiers are always going to be the same. They're always going to be doing the same crazy stuff, no matter how much technology is in their hands. They're going to be doing the same stuff, to joke on each other, or just be that kind of person in the room. I just look around, I see every soldier I worked with, or every soldier I had as a soldier, and it's amazing every day to see that.
Yeah. If I say it really is, man, But like I said, long story short, man, like I kind of really think that when every soldier separates from service, like even the organizations like the VFW and the Veterans of Foreign Wars and American Legion and places like that. I don't know. I guess I would recommend that they sign up there.
Okay.
I guess it's a stepping stone, to kind of, surround yourself. Because, like I said, I think that's one thing that I wish I would have did when I first got out. I say that's probably the only thing that I wish I would have did differently. I should have signed up at like a VFW or something like that, because for a lot of those organizations, the majority of the members are the Vietnam era veterans.
Yep.
And, a lot of guys are passing away and stuff. So, they're eventually going to need replacements, or shoot, people to come in there and run it.
Right.
So, and that's actually a conversation that I had with one of the guys. Up, he was like, it just he told me it personally hurts him. He said because it seems like once they're gone, that basically nobody's really going to pass the torch along.
Right.
So, yeah.
And most of them tell someone that they're just looking for someone to listen to their stories too, because a lot of their families they don't want to, or they don't want to share the stuff that they did in the military with their families out of fear that they might think differently of them or something. So they look for us, the younger generation, to talk to, or even their peers that are still around with them to share. So that's their stepping stone to go there and get the cheap draft beer, play bad pool, and tell stories. So
yeah,
that's their life. That's awesome though.
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah, you're right about it with the cheap draft beer. Because I remember when I first went in, I said, wait a second now. I said, look, your drinks are this cheap? I was like, okay, yeah. So I did not know that all this long time, And like I said, I literally sat down and like they, all I don't want to call them old heads, but they all welcome me in. Oh, come over here, sit with me, sit with us. I'm like, okay, cool. Cause like I said, I'm the type of person that if I go into a new place, I try to, you try to fill the place out.
Right.
But it was like, you sitting over there like you scared everybody. I said, okay, I'll come over there and talk with you.
This ain't that kind of club.
Yeah. I kind of think they were trying to figure out who I was. To be honest with you.
Another organization you might want to look up to is Team Red, White, and Blue.
Yeah.
They're in Jacksonville. And they're good because they bridge the gap between military and civilian by blending them together to do workouts and social events. So they're a pretty good organization.
Matter of fact, that's the organization that you're a part of. I see you post stuff at them all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because matter of fact, I need to get back on top of my cardio. Because I see the posts and stuff that you do early in the morning.
Yeah.
I keep track of you.
I try to keep it up.
Yeah.
I'm a little older than 32 now, though, but pain stays with me now.
Yeah.
All right, young man. It's great talking to you. Great catching up a little bit. Let's not take it this long next time. You got my number now. Yeah. Same number that came through on the text. You got my email. If you ever need anything, I'm here. No questions asked. Just let me know what you need, and I'll try to do what I can to help you out.
Okay, well, I said likewise, and like I said, I plan on making a trip up that way sometime soon, so I'll make sure to hit you up too. Okay?
Yeah, let me know, man. We'll get some dinner or something.
All right, well, so that sounds great to me.
All right, good talking to you, and thanks for being on the Misfit Nation.
All righty, all right, you're welcome.
Bye-bye. That was great catching up with Charles Davis Jr. As you can tell, he is extremely humble. However, he has never stopped hustling. From the first time I met him in Korea in 2008 on Camp Stanley. I can't wait to see what he accomplishes next with all his time. So you know how we do this. Thanks for taking some of your time to spend with us on the Misfit Nation. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and to share the link as much as possible. We appreciate you. If you want, you can help us out by buying us a cup of coffee. The link will be on our page. As always, till the next time, you be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling, because we are the Misfit Nation.